Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, I want to bring a feel-good story straight out of the great state of Texas. And it's about this 14-year-old, as you can see on the screen, who is about to graduate college in a few months. Now you see the title, it says Texas teen was told girls of color couldn't do well. She's graduating college at 14. Alina McQuarter says she's been in love with science since she was about 4 years old and just wants to prove that girls of color can do what they put their minds to. Now, I'm going to try to not get into the racial aspect of this, but I know I'm going to have to touch on it all the way around. But my point of bringing this story is because this is a positive, feel-good, inspirational story that we should share with each other. And stories like this should motivate the parents. You know what I'm saying? Forget the kids. I mean, not forget the kids, you know what I'm saying? Because kids need to be motivated. But stories like this should motivate the parents to help push their kids into fields that they seem to have interest in. But let's get into the story and then I'll break it down like I want to. It says Alina McQuarter isn't like other teenagers. She graduated from high school at 12 years old, made national headlines as the youngest person to intern at NASA, and is the youngest black person to get accepted to medical school. Now she's just a few months away from graduating from college at the age of 14. Now the funny thing about the story is it does not say what high school she went to. It doesn't say what elementary or junior high school she went to. And I bring it up, well, you'll see why I'm bringing it up here in a second. And somehow the native Texan and teenage prodigy had time to start the Brown STEM, an organization for girls of color who want to study science, technology, engineering, and math. And I'm gonna leave a link in the description box below because, like I said, parents, you should be inspired to, click on this link. See if you can fill out scholarship form and try to get your daughter, scholarships to go to college. Because STEM is very important. Matter of fact, STEM, as you see in the workplace, how the workplace is going, a lot of these little jobs like grocery store, well, I ain't gonna say grocery store, fast food, hell, even grocery stores, things of that nature, warehouse work, they are phasing out human beings and replacing them with robots. Well, the thing about it is, at this point, robots can't build robots unless humans program them to build robots. And if robots break down, robots can't fix them unless humans can program to fix them. So my point is, we're just in the age, and it's just blowing up, and it's probably not going to stop no time soon, where everything is computerized. But somebody has to be behind the scenes working those computers. So when you get into things like even science, I mean, you see now robots are doing surgeries, you know what I'm saying? But you still got to be a doctor. You still got to understand those computers to make those robots do surgery, perform surgeries successfully without hurting people. So in math, you're going to always need math. I don't care what you do. Now, you may not need some type of math like geometry or algebra 2 or pre-cal, stuff like that, but you're going to need math throughout your life. Well, if not, you'll always be broke. I've always tried to prove that girls of color, they can do what they put their minds to. It's interesting, this whole new generation, the way they talk now, the people of color, girls of color, boys of color, stuff like that. I don't know how I feel about that, maybe because of my age. I mean, I always thought you was, either black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, Philippine, so on and so forth. But now it's just, girls of color, people of color. But like I said, I'm not gonna get too much in the racial aspect of that because we could break that down deeply. She said, being able to graduate at the age of 12 from high school and going into college, I just want to inspire other girls to follow their dreams. And you see a picture of young Alina here. And she says, quote, I'm in love with science. Alina is a senior at Arizona State University and will graduate in December with a bachelor's degree in biological science with a minor in global health. In May, she is expected to graduate with a master's in biological science. So hell, that's like Lester. So she's gonna graduate college this fall, which is like now. And then next May, she's gonna have a master's in biological science. Man, this girl here is just too smart for her own good. From the age of 5, 4 around there, I've just been in love with science. She told USA Today, and I love the stars. Well, she should, because there's plenty of them out there. Growing up, Alina's mother took her to NASA every summer, as well as astronomy events at night. In 2021, Alina got to intern at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. Quote, it was an amazing opportunity, she said, being able to go to JPL and really use what they're working on. It comes to rovers and rockets and things that they're sending up to space and Mars. It was nice. So this is the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about. Because I'm gonna continue to go through this. But the key word here is opportunity. We as parents, you as a parent, have to provide the children with as many opportunities as humanly possible for them to excel in anything that they want to do. And it doesn't really take a lot of money most times. You can have absolutely no money at all and you can still go talk to your child's advisor at their school. You can go to your local libraries. Library cards are free. And you can research scholarships. You can, hell, libraries have like STEM, like over the summers. I know libraries around here. When I say around here, I mean like Dallas, Fort Worth, and surrounding cities. A lot of their libraries have little programs or workshops that involve STEM. Hell, even if not that, at least just take your kids to the doggone library so they can read. They got reading, they got book clubs, they got reading times. All throughout the summer, you can take your kids. Hell, how do I know? Because when I was going to school and trying to pass my little exam, my last little exam, I see it all the time. You know, in the middle of the day, during the summertime. You know, kids at the library, parents, single, you know, moms, I don't know if they're single, but you know, moms, hell, dads, grandparents, bringing kids to the library to just sit and listen to somebody read. I mean, and it's free. It's free. And a lot of y'all are on bus lines. If not, a lot of y'all own some kind of, you know, old Lincoln Town car or you know, or some kind of Ford, Taurus or whatever, some Honda or what everybody got a Charger nowadays. But anyway, you got some way. If you got a way to get to work or get to your hair appointment or wherever else you get, however else you get around, you got a way to bring your child to the library so they can sit there and listen to people read stories. And they can get their own books and read their own damn stories. Or hell, you can get books and go there and read to them. You ain't got to buy a book. You ain't got to rent a book. You can check them out, whatever, and leave. But my point is, like I say, opportunity. We have to give our kids more opportunities to see the world beyond what you are able to show them. There's nothing wrong with dreaming. Nothing wrong with it at all. And yeah, there's gonna be times where they may fail, and that's just part of life. But you don't. That don't stop you from dreaming and wanting to become something, wanting to become great. When you see your child has an interest in art, when you see your child has an interest in building things, the little Legos or being creative, you know, making stuff out of paper and glue and scissors and crayons and things of that nature, or like to read, you know, take interest in things like that would involve being in a STEM program. Man, you water that, you nurture that, you see that seed, you fertilize that seed until it becomes a full-grown tree bearing fruit. You don't just sit there and say, "Oh, that's cute," and then go on about your little miserable life. I'm sorry. Let me let me keep going. Where we at? Alina initially, I'm sorry, here we go. Alina initially wanted to be an engineer, but after taking an engineering class, she realized it wasn't for her. She kept looking and soon realized she'd rather pursue biological sciences. And that's what I'm talking about. You're not gonna always pick, even you. Just think about your life. The first thing you ever want to be in your life, is that what you became? Or did you, or maybe you did, but throughout your life, didn't your mind change back and forth from other things? Today, the first thing you might want to be was a firefighter. And then you saw somebody playing a sport. So then you want to play that sport. And then you looked and saw that the rich people in your neighborhood, well, not your neighborhood, the rich people, they work at the bank, or investment bankers, or doctors, or nurses, or things. So you said you wanted to do that. Or you might say, hey, I just need a job. So somebody said, hey, you come work at this warehouse and they pay pretty good money. So you went and done that. Regardless of what it was, I'm sure what you wanted to do or what you thought you wanted to do, your ideas changed a number of times until you got to where you at. That's the same thing with everybody. Let your kids get out there, say they want to do something. Don't discourage them. Hell, they say they want to be a YouTuber, blogger, video game, test or whatever, make money like that. Hey, let them go and do it. They want to be a comedian, a rap. Damn, not this kind of rap. Ooh, to rap this out now, I don't know about that. But anyway, if they want to be a musician, a studio engineer, stuff like that, shoot, fine. Nobody said you had to be an engineer. Nobody said you had to have a lot of money. You just have to know where to start researching. That's all you got to do. Start the research first, and then you'll be surprised of what you may see out there. So she has been admitted to the University of Alabama's Hatin School of Medicine to pursue a medical degree, but she's more interested in research, she said. She plans to apply elsewhere to pursue a doctorate and study viral immunology with a focus on infectious diseases. So shoot, maybe she'll be able to cure some of these diseases. Infectious disease, what's infectious? Like STDs? Or maybe COVID? I don't know, whatever. If she can find some way to cure some of this stuff, man, that'd be great. It says she'll start applying this fall. She want to look into healthcare and underrepresented communities. She said, I just want to learn more and be able to develop different things to help increase healthcare in underrepresented communities and advocate for people. I don't know what you mean by underrepresented, because there's a lot of people in our community that are sick. She can learn how to help cure diseases, like maybe sickle cell. That'd be great. Now that's something. I see something like that you can't avoid. Depending on your genetics for the most part, I think. But a lot of these other things, just environment, diet, exercise, your mobility, things of that nature can keep people, well and living into their 90s and 100s. You know what I'm saying? Proving them wrong. Here we go. Alina says she works hard to inspire others in part after being discouraged by an adult in her life. She said she was in the 5th grade when her school principal. Now notice, again, this is why I said notice that they don't say what school she went to. Another person of color told her young girls of color can't get good grades or pass state tests. It did kind of hurt because I worked hard to get the grades that I got, she said. Someone comes and tells you can't do this because you're too young or you're a girl of color. That's why I don't understand that whole girl of color thing, because when they say people of color, they use it as a broad spectrum. I know I said I won't get into the race, but here we go. But they also know exactly who they're talking about when they use that word. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you can say, you mess around and say, black girls or Hispanic girls don't get good grades or pass the test, right? But they're not gonna say like like Indian girls, like the overseas Indians. And I know I'm being stereotypical, but hey, let's just be honest. This is what they think. This is what's out there. The Asians in the Indian community, have high regard for education and excel in education. Hell, you see the spelling bee. Don't play with me. You see the spelling bees, and them dang on Indians be spelling them words like a sun gun. And in math and science, you see them Asians being. We talking about these contests, like these high school and college contests. So miss me with the hate, and what I'm saying, in the evil comments. Let's just be real about what they show. So anyway, like I said, when she say a statement like that, you know which girls of color that this teacher is talking about, right? And it said the principal was another person of color. Now the first thing come to my mind is a black lady, but again, it could be an Indian or an Asian woman speaking bad about black girls. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, but they know what they are saying when they use that word. Like if they say, "Oh man," because that's like saying, let's say a brother, I don't know, rob somebody or delete somebody, and they say they're not gonna say a male of color. They're gonna say the number one male, which is predominant, which is a black male, right? So I mean, like I said, they can interchange this word when they want to. That's why I don't like it, because when they have like projects of positivity like scholarships and school programs and things like that, and they want to build people up, and they say women of color, a lot of times it ain't little black girls. So I understand what this young sister's saying, but anyway, what she said it did kind of hurt, because I work hard to get the grades that I got. Someone comes and tells you can't do this because you're too young and you're a girl of color. I really want to show her that I can get good grades and I can go on and do amazing things, so I'm proving it. Good for this young sister here. Man, let me tell you something. This is also goes back to my fact of parents. You got to educate the child. You got to motivate and inspire your child. Your child does something great, especially in school. You got to give them all the accolades, especially when they're young. Because it's more important to me, in my opinion, when you praise and stand behind your kids when they're doing something through education than through recreation or sports. If you can't encourage your kid to be in the spelling bee, you can't encourage your kids to make all A's, excel in the class, get into the, what do they call it? They call it tag. It used to be talented and gifted. Now, back in the day, I don't know what it's called now. Gifted and talented. I think they reversed it. I don't know why. But you can't inspire your child to do that, but you can get all excited and up early, get your clothes ready, and get your snacks and everything ready for them to go to a sporting event. There's something wrong with that, really wrong. And we can say, man, this education system, the American education system, ain't built for us. Ain't none of this stuff built for us, if you want to be honest about it. So if it ain't built for us, then that's up to you to build it yourself, or to find somebody who is building it for us. I remember a story, real quick story, when I want to say my youngest child, I believe it was my youngest child. I remember I told the story before, when she was going to I forgot what grade, maybe 3rd or 4th grade or whatever. And when they started school, she could read on a level and comprehend. Because don't forget, reading is just ain't reading words, it's also comprehending and understanding what you read. She can read and comprehend on like a level, and math too. But this story is about the English class and reading. She could read and comprehend on a level like a few grades higher than what everybody else did. To the point to where it's like the teacher, when we went to like parent conference, when school first started, meet the teacher, this, that stuff. Teacher was telling me like, man, I don't know who her teacher was, but you need to thank them, because your little one her reading is extraordinary. And I'm looking at this guy like, The hell you talking about? I had my child reading all summer, and not no little baby second grade books. I had her reading books, which I had both of my children doing while they was in school. I had them reading all summer. That's why she's fluent and great in reading. It's down to third. He thought the teacher. Them schools wasn't teaching them kids. They ain't teaching them kids nothing. They teaching, because hell, even sometime when I saw book reports that they would do and they'd let me read them and kind of critique it. And I'm like, who in the hell graded this? Or when they showed me the grade, I'm like, how'd you get an A on this? Because I remember doing book reports and we had to do 3-4 different drafts before we could turn it in. Shoot, they do one draft, turn it in, and they get an A. I couldn't understand it. Still can't understand it. But like I say, that's the American school system. So like I say, my point is, if you know it's flawed, got problems, that means you get off your ass and you make sure your child is learning what they need to learn. So teachers, because you'll have teachers like this. Hell, my mom, listening to this little girl's story, it's sad because this girl she said she was in the 5th grade, which who knows how old she was. She's probably 2 at the time. But anyway, a 5th grader, and you have an adult telling her that, shoot, y'all little kids, you little black kids, ain't smart, don't make good grades, and don't pass the test. So don't get your hopes up. When I heard that, I thought about the story that my mom told me when she said a teacher told her back in the little town that she grew up in, when she said she wanted to be, I think, a nurse or a doctor or something. When that teacher telling her she be all right, clean the house. Cause that's what pretty much basically we saying, that's what all little black girls gonna grow up to be able to do, is to be maids. And my mom was like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. And she did end up becoming a nurse. So I'm like, shoot, that's at least, cause let's see, so we're talking about, I'm gonna say at least a 55-year gap between, let's see, no, this girl is what, 14, so no. Yeah, about a 52-year gap, age difference between this child and my mother. And you're telling me that this type of talk, this type of belief is still going on. But like I said before, y'all say racism ain't dead. But all right, let's keep going. Let me finish this up right quick. It says, Alina said college life has been fun. She has participated in all sorts of programs, including one that helped her learn about the border and immigration. She spent her free time playing sports, swimming, and singing. So the child still has a life outside of education. And that's another thing you got to learn as a kid and as an adult, is how to manage your time for work and for leisure. She loves jazz and pop. She said, good. She don't listen to this crap that they play on the radio now that they call rap. She was able to take her love for music with her when she was 9 years old, living in Jordan. Jordan where? Like overseas, Jordan? My mom gave me the opportunity. The key word is, again, opportunity. We went out there and I got involved in some other refugee camps. Being able to teach the kids, living their music and reading, things like that, was really nice. They took trips to the desert and rode camels, which was cool and scary, she laughed. We went down to the Dead Sea, she said. It's kind of breathtaking. Could you imagine? Let's see. And this here talks about her, getting into cancer research. I'm gonna put the link in the description box. I want you to read this article for yourself and click the links that's in the article so y'all, you can learn and get your kids up on this level. I ain't saying they got to graduate college at 14, but good Lord, at least the grade that they in, they need to be applying and excelling. Got to, man. This the way this world is going. You got no choice. But anyway, imagine you got kids who haven't been outside their city for whatever reason. Can you imagine a child? Let's just take a while. Let's say you got a child that's living in Dallas, South Dallas, Oak Cliff, Pleasant Grove, whatever. Well, let's keep it to the Grove because that's where I grew up at. And let's say they'd never been outside of the Grove. And then one day, you said, hey, we're going to take a trip, a couple of days, and we're going to go to, well, let's say we're going to go to Six Flags one day. Okay, and they go to we're going to go to Arlington, okay? We're going to go to Arlington, get a hotel, spend the night. We're gonna go to Six Flags one day, then we're gonna go to Wet and Wild. It's still Wet, Hurricane Harbor. We're gonna go to Hurricane Harbor the next day. You gonna take a child out of the element, and they're gonna love that experience. They're gonna talk about that experience. They're gonna remember it. They're gonna treasure it. So let's say you're gonna take a trip out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and let's go to SeaWorld, San Antonio. Or let's go to, let's say, what's another place that's close? I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is close. Louisiana or Arkansas or somewhere, Hot Springs, somewhere, just to get them outside the element to see what other parts of the country are like. You know how much that will inspire a child to try to get up out of the situation that they're in. And again, you may not have a lot of money. You may not have enough. You may not have a lot of money. Let's just say it like that. But you can save. You know what I'm saying? You can sit here, let's say like now, school has just started. You can say for the next 8 months, I'm gonna save $10, $20 a paycheck, up for the next 8 months. And after that, we'll see how much I got. And if I can, I'm gonna take my kids to Six Flags or to, like I said, Hurricane Harbor or something like that. Get a hotel, and we're just gonna have a day at it. Just getting that child out of that element will inspire that child to see the world. Or, like I said, you can put them in some of these programs. Like I said, you go to the library, they have programs like she said, this girl said she went to California for an internship. There are things out there that you can be involved in. So I think my child went to Howard University while she was in high school for something they had during the summer. I don't even know if we paid for it, if it didn't cost a whole lot, but there are things out there that a child can do. And like I say, it can inspire a child to want to do better in life, to get out the situation that they're in and to do better. But if you're not motivating your kids, if you're not motivated to motivate your kids, damn it, find somebody who would do it. Anybody that can get these kids loving education, wanting to do better for themselves. Like I said, not just football, not just basketball. And if you want to get them into a real sport where they make real money, if they're good at it, try something like soccer or baseball. I know that stuff is boring to a lot of people, but if your boy is good at soccer and baseball, I've seen quite a few kids, black kids, get scholarships for stuff like baseball, soccer, full ride college scholarship for baseball, soccer, softball, volleyball, and sports that's not all in the limelight. Like I say about football and basketball, that's what all our little young brothers be trying to get into. But the percentages of those kids who actually make it to the pros shouldn't even really be thinking about the pros. All you should be thinking about is some way to get them kids to increase and to continue their education past high school. But anyway, that's all I got for this story, man. I can ramble on this story because this is a great story. It's a great story of inspiration for the child and the parents. Like I said, key word is opportunity. Give your child, give yourself opportunity, but definitely give your child something. I mean, just a spark, just something. Just give them an opportunity, man, to see what they can become, and not just have to, do nothing. But tell me what you think. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.